This is Link Up with CJ. I'm CJ, and today I'm with.
I'm with John from Respective Collective.
How best would you describe yourself?
I would describe myself as a journalistic-minded creative in the music industry. I came from journalism, interviewing,
Right.
More on the editorial writing kind of end of things. I started in film, I got to music, and I ended up starting to go to concerts and interview a lot of artists. And it kind of got to the point where I was like, I should just bring my camera and take pictures of them. And with the pandemic and everything, I started just getting more creative journalistically solo, and it kind of blossomed into becoming a creative photographer, videographer, creative strategist kind of thing. So social media. So
I feel like you'll relate to this. I struggle to have a title for myself since there's a lot that I'm able to do. If you were to give yourself one title, what do you think that is?
I mean, I think creative, honestly, because I think titles and like giving yourself, like putting together buzzwords and giving yourself a title is almost this, you're forced to do it. Like you sign up for an Instagram account, it's like, what category are you? I'm like, I don't know, I'm like 5 of these categories. Exactly. Like this isn't fair. Stringing together like I just did like buzzwords to describe myself, even with a grander scale, I feel like it's still like doing a disservice to yourself. But that's just the way the system is built, and I understand why. It makes sense.
We're boundless.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. Don't put chains on me, please.
Can you share a moment that shaped who you are today?
Yeah, definitely. When I was in college, I believe this was late sophomore year, I just started doing journalism with a radio station. I went to school, DePaul University in Chicago, Illinois. I ran a show literally called Movies at my radio station. Like that's just what we called it. And myself and my then time co-host just literally picked topics of the week and like introspectively dove into it. I got an opportunity to do some like press interviews for Warner Brothers, and they were like, okay, we're doing one with A24 with Bo Burnham, who's like a comedian.
Big fan.
And I was a big fan too, and they were like, yeah, but we can only pick like one of you, and it was like me, someone from U Chicago, someone from Northwestern. I was like, I'm gonna go home, and they're like, and we just did an interview with this other director, and I was like, I'm gonna go home, crank out this interview, and make it happen. And I put my best effort into it. I edited an audio interview on Final Cut Pro. So I made the most of the resources at the time and the knowledge I had, and that created a years-long relationship where I ended up doing a lot of work with like A24, Warner, Disney, and that when I grew up was like, I worked in a movie theater in high school. Like I started a cinema club in my high school that had like 4 people in it. And so that was like my dream. And I think that kind of gave me the creative juice to continue doing like what I'm doing right now.
Sounds like you've been relentlessly chasing what you want.
Yeah, and I think also being open to new exciting possibilities. I mean, that's why I'm in Thailand right now. So yeah, definitely always like chasing whatever I find to be not necessarily fulfilling, but exciting.
Is that what guides you?
I think it's definitely what guides me personally, because I still to this day, like, I mean, I know I feel fulfillment from certain creative avenues, and especially at like higher levels, like large music festivals, working with big artists, but you're never going to be fully satisfied is what I'm, at least for myself.
There's always something new that like comes up, like because you're so open to all these opportunities.
Yeah, like I'm meeting people along the way that maybe one time I like looked up to. I'm like, oh, I'm sharing a creative space with this person. And I think imposter syndrome was something that I struggled with a lot early on, especially like moving into this industry from journalism, because I was like, why do I belong here? Do I belong here? And the way I kind of fought those unfair and judgmental thoughts upon myself that like I bestowed upon me was to just keep going and keep doing more and keep challenging myself like every day with something new.
Was it the amount of time of you challenging yourself that made you more comfortable?
The amount of time definitely, but like I think making the most of my time. Like I truthfully like picked up a camera and like seriously started shooting like a little over 3 years ago right now. And I don't think I'd be where I'm at right now if I hadn't put in the work in other avenues before this. Like I feel like a lot of people are like, they get successful in a creative avenue, don't work a 9 to 5, and they're like, I didn't need to go to college. It's like, well, you don't know that. You know, you are who you are right now because of that.
Can I guess why I think you've been so successful so fast?
Sure, yeah.
Like, we just saw him sing karaoke with the Mafia, and he killed it, right? Even the Mafia was like, yeah.
I garnered some Carti fans, and that was fun.
Like, what I'm saying is, you don't question yourself, you just jump at the opportunity.
Yeah, and that's definitely something I attribute to respective co-founder Chris, sitting over here, that I think he saw and continues to see the potential in me, and like kind of pushes me like, you should do this, you should do that. And I eventually started to just kind of adapt that mentality, but definitely like having someone like him at my side in these situations of like that angel and 10% devil sometimes on my shoulder of being like, you should try this, you should go interview that artist, go take a portrait of him. Like,
encouraging.
Yeah, it's encouraging. It's like there is that anxiety of like, oh, I don't want to do this, but then after I'm like, oh, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah, fuck around and find out.
Yeah, exactly. I very rarely badly find out, so I'm very grateful that 99% of the time it goes very well.
If your 12-year-old self saw who you are today, what do you think he would say?
Be like, damn, what? Yeah, no, like I think he'd be surprised because I knew I was passionate then. Like film and cinema is like definitely what started my, I think, just creative like fervor inside myself of like really wanting to do something. I think they'd be more excited about what I did like in college and like film and like meeting and like interviewing people that I looked up to. I think he'd be like shocked, because I'm still shocked every day I wake up. I'm like,
I'm really doing this.
yeah, and it's an amazing feeling to have.
Yeah, I love asking that question to people that I know have done some crazy shit, because when you're much younger, you know, you think you could do all this, and then now you're actually doing it. It's like a nice reminder.
Yeah, and it's like, it's definitely not something that's easy at all either. And I think, you know, and especially again with Chris and myself, we work a lot and really hard and take times where we don't want to do shit and we do something. And it's like, it can become easy to forget sometimes that like you earned, or I earned something because I've been putting in that time and that effort. And so I think that's a really big factor in that as well.
So you walk with confidence.
Yeah, and I've over, you know, especially the last year, like this past year has just been unpredictable as hell, in a good way. And yeah, like you fake it till you make it kind of thing. You know, you fake it till you make it, but that earned confidence hits differently.
What do you think is the most important thing you learned so far in your experience?
I think for myself, it's trusting your intuition. You know, I think especially in, you know, like going to school, more so like, you know, elementary, middle school, high school, everything is regimented. Even like for me, like English and composition, writing was always like, that was my shit. And even within that, there's just like, you are almost like conditioned in one way or another to be binary with things and be like, it's a yes or no, it's an A or B. And I think kind of growing out of that is what really, I think, made all of this possible for myself. And yeah, obviously there are fields, I would say the majority of the fields of work in every economy, country is objective based. It's this is the right answer. You want to come to this conclusion. So like being in a field where that is not the case. In fact, it's very opposite, where if you have an idea or I have an idea of, well, maybe I want to make this caption like this on a social media video, or I want to try posting a photo this way that I haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Trusting my intuition in situations like that has pushed me farther than I ever thought I'd be able to go. And so I think that's something that is so important. But also at the same time, having a style and everything is amazing, but you have to learn the fundamentals of whatever field
100%.
you're in.
Can't be playful without knowing what the fuck you're doing.
Exactly. And I think that early, like seeing style from like, you know, for example, like early photographers early on, I'm like, this is amazing. Like, because once you have your style, learning the fundamentals is it's honestly not that hard. You just have to practice a lot.
Do you have a favorite quote?
Ooh, let me have a think about this, honestly, because I probably do. In fact, I know I definitely do. But out of abundance of no ideas right now, I'm going to go with put him on the news, Playboy Carti. I'm gonna go with that, honestly.
There are rumors that you are connected to the local mafia in Bangkok. What do you say about that?
No comment, but I had a really good time tonight. But no comment.